This reality show is taking over the internet, racking up over 1 billion minutes of watch time in just a few weeks. It's dominating social media with hundreds of millions of views on TikTok alone. But the real reason why has almost nothing to do with bikinis and everything to do with psychology and some very clever tech. By the end of this video, you will understand the complete system that makes this show so incredibly addictive.
What's next now on Trendy Tracker?
Welcome to Trendy Tracker, the show where we deconstruct the trends that are taking over our lives. Today, we are investigating the explosive phenomenon of Love Island USA. Let's look at the statistics. I already mentioned the 1.2 billion minutes viewed for Season 7 from just its first 9 episodes. That massive engagement made it the second most watched streaming program on all of television during that period. It dominated the digital conversation, generating 54 million social media interactions in YouTube, Instagram, Facebook in just a couple of weeks. Season 7 saw a 232% increase in TikTok views compared to the already successful Season 6, proving its viral potential is still accelerating and capturing the key Gen Z demographic. So, the investigative question is obvious. How did a show that many people write off as trashy TV become a cultural behemoth that competes with the biggest scripted shows in the world? What is the system behind the obsession? I was convinced the answer was in the digital and psychological systems running behind the scenes. So let's get into it. To understand the show's pull, we first have to look at the human element. First, the show functions as a living, breathing psychology experiment. You take a group of young adults, isolate them, and put them under intense pressure to form romantic connections. For us at home, it's a high-stakes, real-time study of human behavior. Some viewers even report using the show as a dating Bible to learn about relationship red flags. It's a social simulator that lets us vicariously experience complex emotions from a safe distance. Second, the show's daily format is perfectly engineered to create what psychologists call parasocial relationships. These are the strong, one-sided emotional bonds we form with media figures, whom they come to see as friends. We spend so much time with these islanders that we start to see them as friends, and the data backs this up. One study on reality TV viewers found that 78% have cried watching a show, and 35% admit to becoming obsessed with a contestant. Finally, and this is the most fascinating part, is the paradox of manufactured authenticity. We, the audience, know that reality TV is a structured reality. The contestants know this too. They are constantly performing, trying to balance being their genuine self with playing a strategic game. This creates a metagame for us at home, the challenge of spotting the real connection amidst the fake drama. Fan communities on Reddit are filled with detailed analyses of who is being sincere and who is just playing a game. Okay, but that powerful psychology needs a delivery system. And this is where my brain got really interested. At the center of it all is the official app. The app's core function is voting. It gives the audience the power to decide who couples up, who's at risk, and who wins the grand prize. This transforms you from a passive viewer who just receives the show into an active stakeholder who can change the show. You're not just watching the story, you have the power to help write it. But the app is just one part of a bigger system, the real-time social media feedback loop. Episodes air just a couple of days after they're filmed, allowing producers to feed social media comments and tweets directly to the contestants, sometimes within 48 hours of them being posted. Intrigued? This creates a fascinating feedback loop where the islanders' actions are shaped by their awareness of public perception. It's a participatory panopticon, a system where the contestants know they're being watched by a massive audience whose opinions can be injected back into their isolated world at any moment. This tech-first approach starts before the show even airs. The casting process itself has been re-engineered. Forget traditional applications. Many contestants are now scouted directly on Instagram and TikTok. Application guides explicitly tell aspiring islanders to build a strong social media following. Essentially, the show is preloaded with people who are already experts in personal branding and performance, making them influencer-ready from day one. So, what happens when you put it all together? This is the reveal. On one hand, you have the psychological why, a deep human need to observe, connect, and play detective. On the other hand, you have the technological how, a sophisticated architecture that harnesses that drive. Layered on top of that is the unspoken economic game, the race to become an influencer, where the real money lies in the consequent brand deals. So the aha moment is this. We are watching people who are simultaneously playing games for love, money, and fame. And at the same time, the show's technology puts the controller right in our hands, making us a part of the system. That is, my dear audience out there, the engine that drives 1 billion minutes of viewership. So what's the bigger picture here? The Love Island phenomenon isn't just about the show. It's about a fundamental shift in the relationship between media and its audience. Viewers have evolved from passive consumers into an active community of critics and even watchdogs. Media scholars call this surveillance, a great term that means watching the watchers. The audience is turning the cameras back on the producers. Armed with social media, fans organize to hold producers accountable. In the UK version, fans analyzed footage to prove a scene was staged and edited for drama. When fans felt a contestant was being treated unfairly, their outrage led to thousands of formal complaints to the UK's broadcasting regulator. This is a new social contract for reality TV. And that leads to the final takeaway. Love Island is ultimately a mirror. It reflects our own anxieties about love, fame, and authenticity in a world completely saturated by social media. The drama inside the villa, the constant performance, the strategic alliances, the fear of public opinion, it's a hyper-concentrated version of the social pressures many of us navigate on our own phones every single day. That's our investigation into the Love Island trend. If you want to see more deep dives like this, make sure to hit like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. Now, for the last 10 seconds, I'm going to put a link to another one of my trend investigations on the screen for you to watch next. It's vital for helping my channel. Do you know the lobster trend and why? Check that out through the link. And I want to hear from you. Really? What's the most fake or real moment you've ever seen on a reality show? YouTube really love comments, and so do I. Drop your theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you on the next trend on Trendy Tracker Official.